Yash, why am I so hungry for this female attention? Why am I starving for it? To the point that it can make your life unmanageable. I mean, because your mind is busy all the time. When we go outside, when we're inside, we're fantasizing. When we're outside, we're actually looking. Where are they at? Are they looking at me? And then you hear somebody tell you to check yourself and say, is this really what you want to do your whole life? Because for a while we justify and say, I'm a man and this is natural and normal and it feels good. And it does. And it is natural. And most of us are men. So is that a lie? When does it become a problem? This is what the channel's for. How do we solve problems? You know, if it was so natural and fun and nice and everything, there wouldn't be any semen retention channels. We would just be edging and lusting and ejaculating and chasing girls and everything else. But what happens after a certain point? It's like the first stage, we got to taste all that. This is the human game. We're born, we're innocent, little baby, so I like the little baby. Everybody likes the babies. I like puppies and kittens a little better. So everybody likes them, right? Why? Because they're innocent. But what happens? Does look at the mother that she's just ecstatic. She got pregnant and had a kid, and she thinks that this emotion she's feeling, and the father too, but the woman really, because she actually had it. She thinks this is gonna last forever. This is just such a cute baby. And what happens? We start to get conditioned. We're out in life. Society tells us things. Our instincts, our karma starts to wake up, especially as a teen, and then we get trapped. And so then the game of life, it's like, that's what I mean. It's set up like that. We're supposed to go to sleep. Uh, you can't be born, live for 80 years, and stay awake the whole time or innocent and pure. So we're born innocent and pure. Then we get all messed up for a while. Some of us stay messed up for lifetimes. But to simplify things, we're born innocent. We get messed up. Then we have to reclaim our innocence. This is that good story, the prodigal son, in in the Bible somewhere. He he's happy, everything's good. His instincts wake up. He wants his father to give him his inheritance money now. I can relate to that. I'm like, why do we got to wait till you die? I'm in my prime. I want to go buy drinks for girls and buy a car and do all that. So he he got his dad to give him the money now. Dad was smart though. Dad wasn't manipulated. Dad saw a bigger picture. Gives the kid the money now. The kid goes, innocent kid goes out into the world, gets spoiled, gets all messed up, comes back home, heads down. He's depressed. He's worried his dad's not going to like him. His older brother is mad at him. He's like, I told you so. But what did dad do? Dad opened his arms and received him back. He knew. He understands the cycle. You got to go out and get dirty for a while, get some addictions and attachments, and then learn your lessons, and then you come and you transcend it. So when he came back home, that was a kind of transcendence, and his dad made him a big dinner. What did he say? He got the fattest goat or something, and then cooked it and gave he's welcoming his return in transcendence. And his elder brother is all selfish, and I know people like this and bitter. And he's like, well, what about me? I stayed home with you the whole time, Dad. Your son like took your money and wasted it. And now he's back, and you're all happy to see him. See, the older brother still has karmic tendencies in him that he doesn't even know about. And so what happens? He don't grow. You got to get dirty before you can grow. This is how it is. Dad understood that. Dad was on the last level. He was in the transcendent level. He was born innocent. Dad also did his dirt, but then he transcended it. So then you don't become a baby again, but you're conscious now of this innocence, you see? And so This is the stages. So this is a deep-seated tendency, this female being hungry for female attraction, and we can say it's related because we didn't get enough attention from our mom, or you know, our family, grandmother, sister, girls growing up. And so when we get it, when we get older and instinct kicks in and it's like, hey man, go, you don't need to get it from your family. You can get it, there's girls everywhere. And then the deficit of needing female attention is so great. It's like our gas tank of female energy is empty. So then we start getting it from girls. We're trying to fill this tank. The problem is, at some point, we bottom out. Because like I said at the beginning, if this was so good, why make videos? Why are we even interested in this subject? I thought intruders were coming. And it's because we bottom out at some point. Because this gas tank we're trying to fill with this female, it's like putting gas in a car, and as soon as you put it in, it burns up, and then it reduces your gas even more. This is what it does. I mentioned before, I went to Brazil when I first left America. I was like 22. It was easy to be celibate when I was in America. I mean, I just wasn't interested, you know. I was in LA, and there was so much pretentiousness and just body identity and no intimacy, nothing. Cold, just fake. So I'm like, okay. I was celibate and didn't even know I was celibate. Then I went to Brazil, and I went to a smaller village area, and man, these girls didn't have that conditioning. If they liked you, they liked you. They showed it. They didn't play a game like, well, I can't show him I like him. He might, then I'm going to lose my power. I need to make him work for it. I can't show him too much affection. Then he might mistake that and think I want to have sex with him, and then he's gonna, you know, and that's true. A lot of guys think that way, and so it's like everybody corrupts each other. The girl's conditioning corrupts the guy, and the guy's conditioning corrupts the girl. But the guy's responsible on some level for the women's conditioning, and the woman's responsible for the guy's conditioning, and it's just a mess, you know. It's all good though, because we can transcend it, right? So I went to Brazil, and I got all this attention, man, and it just felt really good. But here was what I'm trying to say. So my gas tank, it felt, man, there's like, my hair is thick, so there's bugs that get in it. I had somebody ask me if I'm wearing a wig. I told them, as on my other channel, I said, I'm going to let you figure that one out. No, because I have a lot of hair. I've been, yeah, people used to, you know, guys, we joke with each other. It's wearing a wig or you're wearing a helmet. It's all good though. The gas tank, when I got all this affection, I felt like it was getting full. I felt like really good. But then something later noticed. I'm like, the more attention I get, the more empty I feel. Like, what's going on? I used to not get hardly much attention living in LA. I mean, I got it, but I don't know. It was superficial. I just wasn't interested. I mean, I was interested because I needed it, but you know, it's that mess I'm talking about. You want it, but then it's like, well, I don't want that. I want like real affection, you know, from the heart. But I didn't know I wanted it, and you know, it's a growth. We're all in this growing process. So I realized though, I'm like, this sucks. I'm getting more attention now when I was in Brazil than when I was getting to LA, but yet somehow I feel emptier. Like, whoa, what's going on? This is a conundrum. So that was my bottoming. That was the consciousness was becoming, our deeper self starts to become awake, starts to realize that this isn't where it's at. And it's beyond intellectual belief. You actually start to experience it. You're like, well, this really isn't where it's at, but yet I can't stop doing it. I can't stop being hungry for it. Whoa, what do I do? That's when you start finding videos to give you some power. That's when you find a spiritual practice to try to access a deeper power in you beyond the level of in power that the instincts have in your habits. There's a power that's greater than all that. So then we start to try to we taste this deeper power, and then we want to align ourselves with this power, because left to our own mind, we're still going to be a slave. Or we're going to transfer the addiction we had to female energy. We're going to transfer it now. We got to make a bunch of money. Or we're going to try to become in the public eye somehow, or something. We'll just, or food, or whatever, drugs, alcohol. We transfer that, this addictive nature, this lower instinctual nature, to try to get a hit of validation, or a sense of well-being that we try to get from things. We quit one, we just transfer it to another, because we haven't accessed this inner uncaused, you can say, joy. Until we access that, we're just going to keep flip-flopping. So this is the whole growing process. We come to realize these things. And that's why I keep telling people, when they mess up and their mind beats them up, oh man, I can't do this. You can't just do all this overnight. It's like a kid who's 5 years old and says, I want to just be 20 now. I just want to do it now. You can't. You got to go through the growing evolutionary process. So you need to continue to try, but at the same time recognize this is a process. Don't trip. Don't beat yourself up. This is the good news. Next thing you know, you'll have this level of consciousness, and then you're not even going to remember those times when, I relapsed. I'm never going to get it. That's all part of the game that we got to taste. This is you can say the dark side. We got to taste that for a little bit, but that's part of it. We couldn't enjoy the light side if we didn't taste this dark side, and we wouldn't be able to help people, because you wouldn't understand what others are going through. All right, so everything's good. Enjoy female attraction while it's still in you to enjoy, and if some of you are realizing that you want to transcend it, then you just start that process. Let this inner intelligence guide you how to do that. And at the same time, you can continue to enjoy, because you can't help it. Because, you go out in the street like, yeah, okay, I'm not going to look. You go to the beach and you're like, oh, man. Okay, give yourself some space to do that. At the same time, try to be conscious when you're doing it. Do you really like this? Is this so great? Or does it just give you anxiety? And you just start that process and you work it. And this is what you do. All right. See you.